Hey guys, James here from TCGU University, come back at you with another deck profile. Today we're going to be talking about Seong 1. I built her this other weekend, tested her around at locals, played a couple more games, came up with ideas on what to change to make it a little bit better and whatnot. But for the deck I played at my locals, it was this Seong deck under Order. If you don't know Seong, she's a 5-hand size, 31 vitality character. She has the form once per turn. Add 1 asset from your discard pile to your staging area. Only playable if your opponent has more committed foundations than ready ones. And then once per turn, your attack is +3 speed, +3 damage. If it's blocked, you add it back to hand. It's super strong. Makes things really cool. The reason I wanted to play Mina... Sorry guys, the air conditioner is making my nose run me. The reason I wanted to play Mina is because I was looking through some older stuff and kind of wanted to play Breath of the Jade Dragon. Breath of the Jade Dragon's a 4 high for 8, has save. For our hand size is less than our opponent's, it gets minus difficulty, making it a 5 diff instead of a 7 diff. Then reveal 1 card from your hand. This attack gains all the keywords and printed keyword ratings on that card, which is really cool with the deck we're playing. But the main reason I was playing is, with Mina's ability, it makes this a 7 high for 8 with stun 3. And in my head I went, that's some Dragon Flare numbers. And I went, you know what? What if we just built a deck built like old Natalie, but we play what I think is the closest thing we can get to it, Mina, instead of Natalie, because her asset lets you pick up things. You can play Kalyuga, you can loop her assets. You can do a bunch of cool things that just kind of like let you play sort of that style. So I was like, what if we do something like that? So this is what we're come down to. So like I said, we're playing 4 Jade Dragon. It's a really cool card. I'm going to keep this here because I really like it. The next card we're playing is about as statted as Breath of the Jade, just as statted as Breath of the Jade Dragon, but I find it to be more defensive. We have Soul Devour, big baby. It's a 6 diff, 4 low for 8 with a 1 low block, so it's really good on defense. If our opponent's a deadlock, it ignores progressive and gets 4 damage, which when you get to loop late game with Seong, it's actually really cool to do. Just loop these and be like doopa 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 doopa. And they just can't stop you because they're at deadlock, and you get to at least do it twice, one with the original asset, and then when you add one with her. It's really cool. We mainly play it for the all response, which is in the card pool twice per turn. After your opponent plays a card, draw a card. If we give this the stats off Mina, it's a 7 low for 8 with stun 3. That if they block, we respond, draw a card with this. It'll stack, add this back to hand, and we get to do some really cool things. And then the other ability I actually used once actually, to make sure I didn't die, which is just discard X cards, choose X foundations, and they don't raid during the ready set. It was very useful when I didn't draw enough to kill somebody, but had enough in hand where if this didn't kill them, they were going to be tapped out anyways with no way to ready anything. They were going to have, like, I think 1 foundation up, and if they checked bad, we lived. It was like a scenario where, like, not keeping cards in hand didn't win me the game. Getting rid of cards in the game gave me a slight chance, and it just helped us. We still ended up losing that match, but it happens. The next card we're playing is Royal Poison. Royal Poison's a 6 mid for 6, so with her it's a 9 mid for 6 with stun 3, charge, EX3, Fury, powerful 3, weapon. It's a really cool. This one's a really cool target for our Breath of the Jade Dragon because it gains all those keywords, those cool things. This one is powerful 4, which we can give the Jade Dragon, which is really cool. The other reason we play this is destroy one foundation. If this attack is blocked, ready all cards in your staging. It's really useful because we're playing high difficulty attacks. So when we check bad, we check really bad. So being able to read everything is really good. And it's statted out of its gourd under Seong now. And then the second to last attack we play, in my opinion, is one of the better attacks in this deck, is Deep Freeze. Deep Freeze with Seong is a 6 mid for 7 with stun 2 and stun 3, which you can increase it to make it like stun 4 and seal 3 by discarding momentum, which it's very easy to get momentum because, you know, 7 low for 8 with stun 3, 7 high for 8 with stun 3, 9 mid for 6 with stun 3. This thing's a 6 mid for 7 with stun 3. Your attacks are really fast, they hit really hard. You're only a 5-hander, but you're fine with that because you're going to gain the momentum, and then you're going to spin it to make sure you can keep doing things and you get rid of those problem cards. And the last attack is the basic meter style. Seong meter style. Breaker 2, 1 mid block, 5 high for 5, 8 for 5 with stun 3, has powerful 4, has weapon. We can destroy assets for its powerful ability. We can destroy assets to negate actions. And then we can destroy one foundation to add assets or add an asset or foundation to our staging area, which can also be very cool in doing loop or setup things. Super strong card altogether. Sorry, I'm trying to sniffle off as far away from the mic as I can, but it's not working well. Fuck. Scarlet Thunder. 4 of it, because like I said, we're actually trying to do some loop things and just have really cool turns where we play a lot of these big attacks back to back to back to back and make our opponent deal with these really big attacks for no reason. Scarlet Thunder says discard momentum. If your non-throw attack does damage, you add another attack to your hand. We mainly don't use that. We mainly use for bottom one, the bottom one, which is Mina E. Remove it. Add up to 2 cards from your card pool to your hand. So like on your third attack, you just go, well, I'll add this. I'll destroy this and add these 2 back to my hand. And you're like, oh, that's really neat. And then you just play them again because you're, you know, that's what the deck's meant to do, is just keep playing really cool things. The cool thing about this is because of the stun and how fast and how strong everything is. Your opponent's going to want to block. They're going to want to commit to make sure they don't take 8 damage on one single attack, and then you just pass your turn and be like, 4 cards in hand, kill me, I guess. They won't allow that. They'll try to block. They'll try to do all that. And not only will you get your card back, but they'll commit out for it. Meaning you can just Mina and add another one in. So you can do a lot of cheeky things with it. Other parts of loops, you can play Calyuga. A lot of things have safe or weapon. So I think the only thing without safe or weapon is the Big Baby. But who cares about Big Baby? Because most of the time we use Scarlet to add Big Baby anyways. And Big Baby is just a lead-in card. 7 low for 8 with stun 3 is just very good as a lead-in. That draws you cards. If they deal with anything, you keep drawing. As a 5-hander, that's really neat. Just says commit if you have less than 6 or less foundations. Add 1 weapon or safe attack from your card pool to your hand. It's really cool for like looping small things. And then if you have enough foundations, just Calyuga and Mina can loop for a little bit as long as you check well. So, and then we're playing cards to help us check well too. And one other asset is Flambear. Just a single speed really matters sometimes. +4 speed on your first attack makes just more committal. And with everything being so big, that +1 speed is just like giving stun 1 to something for every attack. It's really good. Because we're playing a lot of big checks or big attacks, we're playing a lot of good checks. We're playing 4 Punch for Judy. Not only is this really cool, but it just makes sure that sometimes you just push your big attacks through. Because 12-12 on like your 7 low for 8 or your 7 high for 8 is real good. You know, 20 damage on 1 attack is real neat. And then the other card we're playing is for Demon Realm Awakening. I realize in a lot of my fun order decks, I play 4 of this, 4 of each of those, 4 of these, and I don't know why, but it's just really funny to me. One of the cool things I found is a single Royal Poison, Breath of the Jade Dragon, and a Demon Realm Awakening is a lot of damage. So if, as your first attack, you play your Breath of the Jade Dragon, you just have 1 of these. We'll get rid of these. Everyone should know what Demon Run does. If you don't, I'm about to explain it. So you Mina, it becomes a 7 for 8. Use its ability, gain this. So it gains all of these keywords and their ratings. And then you go, Demon Realm. I'll give it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more damage. So it becomes a 16 damage. So it's a 16 damage, 7 speed attack. And you didn't use its EX, and you didn't use its powerful, and it has stun 3 that you haven't used yet either. I almost did this on turn 0. 16 damage, practically unblockable because it's a 7 high for 8. Like, it was gonna be a really cool turn. I checked that, but you know, when you go for something like that, you go for it. But Demon Run says after you play it, you give an attack +1 or -1 for each of the keywords on the card. So when you give keywords, it increases that, obviously. And then this one just adds a bunch of keywords, too. Really neat combo I found when doing it. Not super combo-y, but kind of like does the cool thing we were trying to do with our deck, which is play Jade Dragon. Like I said, we're playing a lot of big attacks, so we're playing 2 Scarlet Thunder to rate things. You know, and keep us down below that 6 count for our Calyuga. Helps us get there. which honestly is very useful. Tijuana groceries. When we're trying to loop 5s and 6s on 5 and 6 checks, having this is very good. Makes it to where we can extend that combo even longer. 1 refusing to let go. Just simple defense. Make sure, if anything, these go back up to 10 damage if our opponent tries to reset our speed or drop our damage and whatnot. One of the cards I'm playing that probably won't stay in the game long enough for it to matter for this deck once my hero comes out is Static Buildup. Static Buildup is a 2/5 with no block. Comes from the Platinum series. It's just one of the one single card expansion that's still legal in the game. First ability is give 1 speed. Only playable if your opponent has no cards in their card pool, which is very neat for our stun 3, 7 speed attacks. And then +1 damage if our opponent has at least 1 card in their card pool. So we hit faster if we're if they have no cards, and you hit harder if they have cards, which is really neat because we make it harder to block on our first one, and if they don't, it just means it's always going to be harder to block. And then when they do, we make everything hit harder, so it means they want to block more, but they've already wasted their block on the really cool one, so it just kind of like pushes harder into the game plan. Same reason as why we're playing Ridding the World of Outsiders. Commit to give 2/2 to your next, flip it to give 1/1 to the current. Just stats up our really big attacks already. Make sure we push through. Because we're a 5-hander, I wanted to play 3 Passing the Torch. And the ability to just like draw a card, blow it up with Meteor is really good. Put it back in, draw more cards. Kind of build defense. This is more for like long game style games. None of the games I played went that way, mainly just because like sometimes if you go in, you kind of leave yourself defenseless, so it never really mattered. And then other times, we never really wanted to play late game. Because of our ability, I'm playing 1 Living Pendulum. It cancels the speed ability. It can cancel our on, so if you're playing in a mirror match, woo, you cancel the character for no reason. But basically, if we get that 3 speed, I don't want to get taken away. I want our attacks to be fast and stay fast, so we're playing one of these. Then we're playing 4 Never a Day Without Training. We play assets, obviously, so free +1 is really nice. Has a nice 2 low blocks to spam, helps us build. 3 Mallee to protect ourselves from committal, stun ability, stuff like that. It's also a 6 check, which means we're going to pass things a lot easier. 3 Aegis and Wise to protect our foundations, because sometimes that's very important. We may not try to keep ourselves very high on foundation count normally, but we don't want to be really low either because we are playing a lot of high diffs. 2 Marrying Age. This is just mainly if we need it, we have extra speed. If not, we have the ability to ready things if our opponent readies things. We do play stuns, so like our opponent's bound to have Sense of Morals and they're bound to do stuff. So just having the ability to just ready something on our end or add things from our hand to our staging area to be able to play more things is very useful. And the last card we're playing is 3 Voice of Reason. Voice of Reason is just one of those things where it's just like, I feel like I need 1 more attack to make this turn very, very cool. I'm going to go ahead and discard this foundation I drew and draw something else, hopefully. Or, like, it's very useful if you're not planning on playing a Punch and Judy, you can discard to try and draw something else. Or if you have a Punch and a Judy in your hand or whatnot, you can discard one of those, still have the ability to use Punch and Judy and draw something new. It's just very helpful. Side notes because we were talking about it after the tournament, because this is more of a fun deck mainly because I wanted to play I'm trying to pull them out and I'm doing a terrible job. The Jade Dragons. I lost the other one, but there it is. Just because we wanted to play the Jade Dragons, what this deck was mainly built around. So I have some options here that you could change into if you wanted to play this deck and not play Jade Dragon. Obviously, it's older, it's a little slower, and in matchups versus 5 and 4 handers, you kind of have to play this on a 7 diff, and that's real rough. So cool side deck cards would be, we were talking about changing out Jade Dragon for Moonset. I personally am not a fan of Moonset, so I would not do this. I think Moonset doesn't mesh well with the deck. Sure, it's a 6/6 that pops something, but I just didn't feel like I wanted it in my deck. The choice I would have went for is actually Rose Mystique. Rose Mystique's a 6 high for 6 that says, if you give 3 speed, it's a 9 high for 6 with stun 3. You can seal one of your opponent's foundations, and you can also discard one of your momentum to make your opponent discard at least 1 card, depending on how many characters you have. Most of the time, for like this straight build, it's just going to be 1. But -1 hand size is really neat. Sometimes it might matter if they only hold 1 card, and that card's the card they think they need to win, or at least live. just get rid of it, seal something that you don't want to have to deal with. Stuff like that. It's just real good choices. And then the other option we're talking about was just adding Mina 2-dot and taking out, like, ridding the world of outsiders for something like Moment of Rest. Where things are fast and they hit hard, so, like, being able to gauge in the second character can make the game a lot easier. Getting free committal, adding weapon cards to our hand. The only reason I didn't like this idea personally is just because I think it's a little too slow for the style of deck we're trying to play, which is just every turn I want to sling these big attacks at you. And honestly, I do like the idea of playing Moment of Rest and playing this, but without this, I don't see a reason to play this, obviously. And I kind of liked ridding, even though I didn't play it too often. Just having the option to add 1/1 to something, give 2/2 to the next. Just it being there was real nice. Honestly, after playing it though, I think I might want to try this as well. You guys do what you guys want to do. Test how you want to test. Let me know if you guys have any other ideas to add to this deck. Anything I could be missing, stuff like that. Be on the lookout for other things. I'm going to try and build one deck a week, maybe every other week. Have some cool decks, cool tech stuff. So let me know what you guys think down below. And as always, stay alert.